Okay. Hi YouTube, this is Tons Commandantin. This is my first vlog, so I don't really care if you're nice or mean, but understand that it's in its infancy. It just came out of the womb, so keep in mind this isn't gonna be, the greatest cinematic experience you've ever had. So today I'm going to talk about something great that happened, and it's really nerdy, so if you're really nerdy I would suggest staying and watching because this is pretty awesome. Okay, this is a little hard without my glasses, but I have something great to show you. This is Fatal Frame. This is probably the best survival horror game, if not one of the best video games I've ever played ever. Okay, but that's not all. This is Fatal Frame 2, which I just got it today, so it looks like Crimson Butterfly. I haven't played this one yet, so I'm really excited. And this is Fatal Frame 3. I have them all. I just am speechless and don't know what to say, really. I want to share this with you in my first vlog because this is just something that I think is really awesome and that just makes me happy. I don't know, weird things make me happy. It really depends on the day, I guess. But I have played 1 and I have played 3, however I haven't beaten either of them. They're really freaking hard. But basically, for anybody who doesn't know anything about survival horror, they're video games where you receive limited health and ammunition that makes you struggle through the game. It makes it harder when coming up against opponents. Obviously there may be combat. However, in these games, your weapon is a camera. So it's kind of like you're running around solving mysteries. It sounds ignorant, I know, but I don't want to explain it fully, for one, because I can't. It is hard, it's complicated to follow. Well, at least for me. If you played it, you probably wouldn't think it's that complicated, but when you're trying to explain it yourself, it is. So, looking down, okay. Blank. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, you have a camera, and in the first one, you're trying to find your brother who went missing. Pick up this camera and you're in this haunted house, and what you do is, while you're trying to find your missing brother, you're fighting or warding off these ghosts with this camera. So it's kind of like you're stealing their soul. I would compare it to that. I just recently got into these. I didn't really think I liked survival horror, for one, because I didn't know what it was. However, I guess even Resident Evil Code Veronica X, if you've ever played that survival horror, and if you haven't played it and it sounds interesting, I would suggest looking into a guide, only because I myself had to restart it about 3 times. Not because it was hard, because I missed the dumbest things. It was so dumb, like I didn't put my items in the right box, and so I didn't have my fire extinguisher. Couldn't put out the fire. I can't remember if you have to put out the fire. I just know there's a fire that needs to be put out. I didn't have a fire extinguisher. I restarted 3 times. It was hard. But that is, I've always liked horror games. I've enjoyed them. I really like Silent Hill, which honestly, people say Fatal Frame is one of the scariest games, but I find Silent Hill way scarier. I also find Clock Tower 3 way scarier, which sounds bad. I'm not a real Clock Tower fan. That's the first one that I played. So, the first 2 were point and click, which I'm not really into. I don't have the patience for that. But I thought Clock Tower 3 was really scary too, a lot scarier than Fatal Frame. Okay, I was lent, the only one of these that I actually own is the second one. This one was lent to me, and the third one was lent to me. But you know, I have them in my possession, that's all that matters right now. I know I'm gonna have to edit this video. If not, just keep this part in here, blooper reels. I mean, everybody enjoys that. So, I mean, I want to explain it, but not at the expense of sounding ignorant. They're really fun games, and I would suggest checking them out. I just made this for my first vlog, honestly. Like I said, freaking awesome game, and I have all three in my hands right now. I'm not sure how hard they are to find. From what I know, they're pretty rare, and the fact that I have two with the original cases are, I mean, it's pretty exciting to me. The second one didn't have the original case. It also looked crappy when I got it from GameStop. I don't even know if it's playable yet. If it's not, I'm going to take it back. But I went and had it cleaned, so at least, you know, if they'll have a clean disc they can resell. I don't know, it's awful. I bought it and then somebody told me never buy anything from GameStop. I look at the disc, I'm like, oh, that must be why. So, for my first vlog, I would suggest checking them out. They're so awesome. I can't sing, but oh my god, when I get excited, they're so freaking awesome. And now I would suggest checking out Clock Tower 3 and Veronica X 2. Well, I mean Veronica X as well. Don't know, I've never really met a Clock Tower fan, but I also don't know many people who are in the point and click games. So, I know I'm veering off into different, I don't know the word. Well, I'm staying in the same genre, but I'm getting into like, oh, what's that word when there's side scrollers and platformers and the type of game, like the gameplay that you go through. These Fatal Frames are just RPGs. They're a lot of fun. Clock Tower 3 is an RPG. Oops. From what I know, they released another Fatal Frame. However, they didn't release it over here in the US, which, I mean, I just started playing, so it's not that important to me, but just to have it would be cool, just to try it. However, what I've seen, it's on the Wii. I really don't like playing the Wii. These are PS2 games, obviously, which is my favorite system. I honestly think the PS2 has the best games. And I don't mean that as in Sony has the best games. I mean PS2 as a system had the best games, in my opinion. I don't know, some of you make like the CDI. You weirdos out there. That's an awful system. I watch too much Angry Video Game Nerd. However, my vlogs aren't going to be all about video games. There will be other things. But just to get the first one out there, I wanted to do something I was comfortable with and see how it went. I doubt many people will see this, but hey, it's there. And again, it's in its infancy, so it'll get prettier and stuff as it goes. I was sitting here worrying about how I looked, but I'm like, it's not about how I look, it's about what I want to talk about. So yeah, I will see you later.